Ladies and gentlemen, may I invite you to just settle. I know that you're benefiting from all that's on offer at our bursary booth by Scotiabank, Lynx, Rush Alert, the Student Loan Bureau, and SWAT. But we are about to begin this critical segment of our program where we look at financial matters. You'll also get to meet the Student Service and Development Managers and to hear about the offerings in the halls of residence for those who are living in a hall of residence, and for others who are commuting students, you'll get to meet with or for persons who are parents of our commuting students, you'll get to meet with members of that team. So we're going to ask you just to please be settled and I know you want to be friendly with your neighbors and engage in conversations, but just so that we can hear each other, I'm going to ask you just to level that down right now so we can move into this segment. Thank you so kindly for your understanding. So from morning until now, we've been talking about the important partnership that we are seeking with our parents, spouses, guardians, well-wishers, family members. Right? Because we believe that supportive families will result in us curating a resilient student. And so we look at one definition which speaks to resilience as a process of adapting well in the face of adversity, in the face of trauma, tragedy, threats, but also in the face of financial stressors. And we want for you to be able to successfully navigate any financial stress that may come your way. Importantly, we want to provide you with information that will help you to make good financial decisions and that you're able to adequately take care of the financial needs to support your child or ward here at the UWI. And so at this moment, we have with us Ms. Kimberly Henry. Ms. Henry comes to us from the bursary. She is indeed a student customer service officer, really, in the bursary. And she's going to be sharing critical information with us. I ask that you listen to her keenly, that you take notes, make your jottings, as it relates to the questions that you may want to ask or the areas that you may need clarification on. Importantly, there is a booth at the back. The bursary has a booth at the back which you can get additional information. I know a number of you during the break would have gone to that booth and would have benefited from a wide range of information. But help me now, ladies and gentlemen, make welcome to the lectern Miss Kimberly Henry, who will share with us critical information that we will need for our sojourn here at the UWI. Please make her welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. A very special welcome, a very hearty welcome to our prospective students. I want to officially welcome you to the University of the West Indies, to the UWI Pelican family, and I wish that your journey here will be a remarkable one. So, my name is Kimberly Henry, and I'm proudly representing the bursary department today, specifically the Student Administrative Services section, as well as the Billings and Receivables section. So I just want to introduce you to our little section with a very big responsibility, because in the future, this is where you would need to come to with all your financial queries. So, we have customer service officers on the ground. We have customer service agents available as well to take your queries as students on any financial matter. When it comes on to SAS or billings and receivables, our primary function is to ensure that you are billed correctly. Everyone wants to make sure that they're billed correctly, right? You don't want any discrepancies on your account. Am I correct? So we are here to ensure that you are being billed correctly, to ensure that you receive your invoices in a timely manner as well. When it comes on to offering financial advice, counseling, information, anything financially related, we are here to provide you with the support that you would actually need to go through your journey here at UE. For those among us who are benefiting from scholarships or donors, things like that, where you're expecting for money to come in from external parties, we will be here to ensure that we are in dialogue with the different donors and ensure that the money comes in and your account is updated in a timely manner. And we are here to ensure that we bill and collect from said donors or clients. Now, when it comes on to the commitment fee, everybody pay the commitment fee already? I like to hear that. So for those among us who may not have made that payment yet, you can still go ahead and make the payment of the commitment fee. What the commitment fee is, it is basically a deposit that you make towards your account. So you're not making a donation to you, you know. You're not making the payment of the 20,000 and they say you will take your money. It's not like that. So it's a deposit that you make towards your account that can be used to offset any future charges that can be applied to your account, whether it is for miscellaneous fees, any documents that you might have requested, things like that. But the payment deadline, it is usually stipulated in the acceptance letter that you would have received upon getting the offer. If it is not there, then typically the deadline is at least 30 days after the date on that acceptance letter. So if you don't pay it yet, go ahead and make the payment. But also remember that this is non-refundable. So at any given time, there are 3 standard charges that can be applied to your account. Naturally, you can expect for tuition to be applied to your account. Now, tuition, it is not the same right across the board. The amount that is applied to your account is dependent on your registration status. Things as, for example, nationality comes into play. The program of choice comes into play. So the tuition that is applied to your account, you can expect for that to be added once you've started your registration. So we don't put on the charge before you apply or add your courses, all right? So you add your courses, then the tuition goes on. Another mandatory fee would be the miscellaneous fee. Now, once you're registered for any academic year, you are expected to be charged and pay the miscellaneous fee. Now, the miscellaneous fee enables your ability to seek health assistance at the health centers, to use the library, the guild. You heard from the guild president earlier, a portion of your miscellaneous fee goes over for the guild. So it's basically there to support your other aspects, support your other needs as a student. Naturally, you can only expect for residents to be applied to your account if you're living on a hall. So if you're not on a hall, then no charges will be applied for residents on your account. So how do you find these fees? I mentioned them just now. So how do you go ahead and find them? Now, from any search engine, you can type in UE check fees. It is usually the first link that populates. Now, when you go on that particular link, you'll be taken to a page that looks like this. So all the fees that you're looking for, whether it is for your undergraduate tuition, for miscellaneous, for residents, things like that. The links are there. You can go ahead and use the services that are available to you. But also from this link, you can ensure that if you are one of those persons who use online banking, now you'd see that there's a link there where you can make your payment to UE online, so you don't necessarily have to come in office or to go to a paymaster and so forth. We're trying to make the thing convenient for you all. So the miscellaneous fees for next year, they are not yet published. Next year, as in August going forward, 2023, 2024. But just to give you an idea as to what it is. So for this current academic year, it was $28,967 for a student that was living on hall. And if you are traveling to school, that is commuting, then the miscellaneous fee to expect would be $20,667. Now, both the figures that I've just quoted already include the cost for your new ID card. So if you've made payment of the miscellaneous fee, and when it comes around to the time when you need to take your ID picture and sort out that aspect, you can be guaranteed that that is already covered. If for whatever chance you lose the receipt, then you can still come to SAS and we can give you the necessary documents or a slip to provide to the persons to say, yes, you have already made payment of same. So remember that commitment fee that I made mention of earlier? Okay, so this is one of the things that the commitment fee can be used to offset. So the $20,000 that you made the payment of, it can be used to offset the miscellaneous fee. But naturally, we see that the commitment fee is lower than the miscellaneous fee, right? So what you're then encouraged to do is to go ahead and make payment of the difference just to make sure that you fulfilled your obligation in making payment of the miscellaneous fees. So payments can be made here on campus. So when you look across the building, you see a big white building over there. That's where the bursary is located. That is also where the bursary cashiers are. So if you make a payment at the bursary cashier, or if you use an e-commerce platform, meaning the online platform, then you can expect for the payment to be routed, to be applied to your account within around the same time. It's very instant. However, we do understand that not everyone might be able to come here and make the payment or to use the e-commerce platform. So you can therefore go ahead and make payments at, for example, Paymaster, Western Union, Bill Express. If you use NCB, then it has to be one of those full-service NCB locations. You don't make a deposit at the ATM, all right? That is considered a third-party transfer, and what that basically does, it delays the update as to how soon the payment goes to your account. So if you use NCB, what I would encourage that you do is to use the bill payment option that is online with them. We are already listed under education as a bill payee. You just go ahead and add us. Any payment that is made using that platform will be added to the account within 24 to 48 hours. So just to emphasize the e-commerce platform. Now from any search engine, again, you can type in e-commerce, or you can just go to Mona e-commerce and visit that particular website. You would be required as a new student to create an account. And thereafter, if you're making payments via e-commerce, you are then required to just log in using the credentials that you used to set up. But the card that you wish to use needs to be registered. So you need to go ahead and ensure that the card is registered, and then after that you can go ahead and make payment. So just to reiterate, you create or log in to the account, you register the card, and then you go ahead and you make payment. Now, if you have any questions regarding, or you're having any difficulties with the e-commerce platform, there are some links there to, available for you. So for example, if you want some guidance as to how you go ahead and register your card, there's a link there for you. And if you want additional information, for example, what currencies, what type of cards, stuff like that, you can download the manual and you can peruse the documents. So for the payment deadlines, the 3 standard charges I mentioned earlier, miscellaneous, residence, and tuition, they are due on September 1st for semester 1, and the other deadline is January 12th in 2024. Now let me just explain what this means. So when it comes down to tuition and residence, you're billed for the semester. So you already know what your annual fee would be, right? More often than not, you're billed in 2 semesters. So the first half is due in semester 1, the remainder in semester 2. So those are the figures, the first half of your tuition or the first half of your residence. That is what is due in semester 1. And it is due by the stipulated deadline here. Same goes for semester 2 when you need to pay the remainder. So a lot of us might be wondering, how are you going to go about financing your way through university? Boy, UE expensive. Boy, tertiary level education is very costly. I'm not going to lie to you, it is very costly. And that is why I'm going to take the opportunity now to urge the new Pelicans that you be very proactive when it comes down to your financial obligation to the institution. It is very critical, because if you're not in good financial standing with us, then there are a lot of things that you might fall short on. For example, your inability to sit exams and so forth. So this is the time when you need to start planning, all right? You already know what the tuition cost is going to be. You already know what charges to expect. How are you going to go ahead and finance your way through tertiary level education? The most common one is to pay in cash, but not everyone will be able to pay in cash at one time. Am I right? So you can go ahead and explore options, for example, through the MPs. A lot of MPs, they have the tertiary level grant where you can go ahead and you can speak to them, try to get some assistance through your MPs. There are other options, for example, JAMVAT, you have SLB, you have the option to register by semester. So if you were registered as a full-time student and you realize that, boy, the cost for the full-time student might be a bit challenging at this time, then you can opt to register as a part-time student and basically select the number of courses that you're able to afford at that time. So you can also explore options, for example, through major companies. I know, for example, Grace is a very popular one. There are other tertiary level education grants that are available through some NGOs. Explore. There are a lot of them out there. I don't have the time to go through every single one, but I just urge you to go ahead and take advantage, do some research, and come through, all right? So these are some other options for the students who might have benefited from a path at the secondary level. Just know that you can transfer that benefit up to the tertiary level. If you're interested in that, you can speak to the Office of Student Financing to find out your way, as in what is required to transfer the particular benefit. As mentioned before, Student Loan Bureau, that is a very popular option as well. There are grants and scholarships that are available through, for example, NCB, JN, and Educom. The Office of Student Financing, they are the office on campus that you would need to speak to about any bursaries, any grants, any scholarships. I'm not sure if there's a representative here today, but if not, you can look on their website. They usually have, for example, what scholarships are available for what year student, what faculty, the requirements that you need to make sure that you have to benefit from the scholarship, stuff like that. So you can peruse the website of the Office of Student Financing for further details. So the installment plan, let's say you've tried to get the financial assistance from external parties and you're still unable to pay everything in full by the stipulated deadline, then that is where the installment plan would come into play. Now what it does, remember I said that the first half is due by September 1st, right? So if you're unable to pay that first half of the tuition or the residence by that deadline, then you can go ahead and request for the installment plan. It enables your ability to pay the semester's fee in monthly installments. But to get on the installment plan, there are some criteria that you have to meet. Now, you need to make sure as a student that you're fully registered. So that means that you've gone online, you've selected on all your courses, you're not waiting on any overrides. Everything is there and it is on your timetable. You're also required to make sure that the miscellaneous fee, it is paid in its entirety. But a 25% deposit is also required. So 25% of the tuition is required as well. If by any chance you're a returning Pelican and you might have had any balances outstanding from your first degree, then you need to make sure that that is cleared off as well. There is also the installment plan for residents. Now, like the installment plan for tuition, the miscellaneous fee is also a compulsory factor here. At 25% of the residence charge is also due, and you need to make sure that the charge for residents is also reflected on your statement of accounts. Now, in order to get on the plan, it will not become available until August 10th, 2023, so that's next month. When it does become available, then you request the plan on the bursary website using the steps that, once the requirements have already been met. Because if you have not met the requirements and you go online, then you won't have access to the form, all right? So the payment that you make on a monthly basis will be determined by the balance that you have outstanding after you've made that deposit. So remember, I said it is a minimum deposit of 25%. But if at that time you have more than the 25%, by all means you can go ahead and make payment of same. What that then does is that it reduces the amount that you pay on a monthly basis. Either way, whatever balance you have on the account at the end, it will be divided into equal parts and you make the payment of same each month. But if you get on the plan for semester 1, just remember that when it comes to semester 2, you would have to do the application once more because it does not automatically filter or transfer over to semester 2. So this is just to give you an idea as to what it is about. So the payment deadline, by the payment deadline, you make a 25% payment upfront, and then whatever balance is left, it is divided into 3 equal parts, and you make the payment at the end of each month going up until November. So it is structured in a way that when the student comes to do final assessments in December, you would have already been financially cleared to do so, if you are meeting your payments for the installment plan. Now, regrettably, I have to introduce you to some of the penalties, because while we are trying to be proactive and while we're also here to offer the counseling, we find that sometimes there are some persons who might fall short. I encourage you that you speak to us, reach out to us before it gets to the detrimental stage. Now, just to introduce you to some of the penalties. If the payment is not made in its entirety, or you're not on an approved installment plan and keeping up with your monthly installment plans, then you can expect for a 1% late fine to be calculated and added to the account at the end of each month. So as per the university's deadline, a 1% late fine will be charged on any balance that is on the account that is not paid after the deadline. In addition to that, if you have money outstanding and it comes on to your assessment period, that examination period, what will be applied to your account is called a financial hold. Now, you cannot sit an assessment with a financial hold. You cannot see your grades with a financial hold. You cannot request certain services with a financial hold. Remember, I told you that the finances is very important. Right. So you need to ensure that your financial obligation to the institution, it is kept. And if you're having any difficulties, that you reach out to us for advice on how to go about resolving the matter. So in the very extreme cases where the balance is still outstanding and, we try to reach out to you, we're not going to say we're just going to send you like that. We will try to contact you, call you, email you, send SMS if it is necessary to reach out to you to remind you about the balance. If all measures fail and the account is still in arrears, then we have the right to send you to a collection agency. Now remember, you're young people, you're just coming up. You don't want a bad credit score. You don't want the credit bureau to come involved. So we don't want it to reach to that stage, but I'm just letting you know what the penalties will be if it is delinquent for an extensive period of time. So earlier I made a little reference to the bursary website. So the bursary online student system, aka BOSS. Now basically this is our website that we use here at SAS to offer certain services to you. So it therefore eliminates your need to come in office to ask for certain things. Not to say that we don't want to see you, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is we're just trying to make it a bit more convenient for you. So if you require certain things like tuition letters, so for example, you're a donor, you need something official to go to the donor to say, hey, this is my tuition, these are the charges that I have for UE. That is called a tuition letter. If you want to look on your statement of accounts, you have access to your unofficial statement of accounts. This is the place that you need to go. If you need to get on the installment plan, this is also the place that you need to go. So those are just a few of the services that are offered through the bursary website. The forms are there for you to use, and there's also a little instruction or information about what the form is, so you know that you're using the correct form for the service that you require. Now, this is a very important one because this too is on BOSS. It's called a proxy authorization. Now, what it basically is that if you, the student, are unable to come to us to collect a particular document or to conduct the business on your own, and you're sending someone to represent you, then you need to communicate that to us. Because the long and short of it is that if anyone except you comes to us and there's not a proxy authorization in place, then we will not be divulging any information or giving the document to the person that is there. It might sound weird right now, but let me just explain. In the eyes of the university and from a legal aspect, you, the student, the prospective student, you are our client. We also know that your mommy or daddy's little girl or mommy or daddy's little boy, but at the same time, you're considered as an adult at this time. You might also be used to mommy and daddy taking care of all the business for you. While we want for that to happen so you can focus on the academics, we also want for you to ensure that you communicate with us to say that it is okay to speak to this person. Mommy and daddy might be sitting there and say, yeah, but I may pay the tuition. We understand that too. But we need the client, we need the student to communicate that to us as well. So these are some frequently asked questions. I would have already touched on all of this, but basically if you can pay your tuition in per semester or the fees overall, yes, you can go ahead and do so. How do you check your account balance? It can be done from the bursary, UWIBOS, bursary online student system. Sign in, look on your unofficial statement of accounts. Can someone conduct business on your behalf? Yeah, if you do so and you communicate that to us via the proxy authorization. Where can payments be made? The fastest options would be at the bursary cashiers or the UE e-commerce platform. But if that is not suitable for you, you can go ahead and use JN, NCB, Paymaster, Bill Express, Western Union, just to name a few. The difference between a tuition letter and a statement of accounts, the letter will outline what the charges are, but the statement of accounts will basically show what the transactions, payments, charges, balances have been over a period of time. How long the payments take to reflect, I mentioned those earlier. If the payment deadline, if the processing time, let's say that you made a payment at Paymaster, just as an example, and the payment is not on your statement of accounts within 24 to 48 hours, then we ask that you send us a copy of the receipt to SAS, and we will be able to use that as a support to try to track the payment and to help you to locate the payment and update your statement of accounts. What is UWI's bank account number? That information is not usually provided. Now, the reason for that, all the authorized payment methods or options, they already have our banking information. What you're encouraged to do is to ensure that the ID number is included in the transaction, because that is how the system will recognize it to say, all right, the payment should be applied to this particular account. If by whatever reason the ID number is excluded and it is not showing, simply reach out to us and we can try to help you to resolve the matter. But if I've not covered any of your queries, or if you still have some burning questions to ask, you can reach out to us on weekdays, 8:30 to 4:30. We can be contacted at 618-5066, that's our straight line number, or you can send us a WhatsApp chat at 876-280-8238. No voicemails, no calls, please, just chats via WhatsApp. Or you can visit our office. We're located in the building across there, the white building. Just say that you're going to SAS, and we can offer the live support there. Now, once again, on behalf of the Bursary Department, I welcome you to the University of the West Indies. Thank you.
That's quite a mouthful of information, not true, but critical information, and important you'll get a chance to ask questions, so just jot them down if you have questions. We're gonna do 2 more presentations, brief presentations, and you will be able to ask your questions at the end of all the presentations, right? So I'm gonna ask my MITS team if they can share the web page information for the Office of Student Financing, right? So that the audience can benefit from that. We are going to hear from the Office of Student Financing right now. And so I'm going to invite Mrs. Shanna Hastings Edwards to to come to the lectern to share with us. She's the manager of this office, and you can learn about scholarships and bursaries and so on from her presentation. So please make her welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Edwards.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to see so many persons here this afternoon for us to be able to share the information that will be relevant to your, It's a pleasure to be here to share with all of you this afternoon, especially because we are in a situation where many of our students face financial challenges. And we find that most of the times, really, it is because persons don't understand the various options that are available to them, why persons will become deregistered or will not be able to progress each semester. So the first thing I'm going to ask today is, does anyone here already know where the Office of Student Financing is? Anyone? No? Okay. I see a hand, very good. How many first-year students are in the audience today? First-year students. Okay, I see many hands, so I'm very pleased about that. Returning students, how many returning students? Returning students, okay. All right, so we have many first-year students, we have parents, guardians, loved ones, but only one person indicated that they already know where the Office of Student Financing is. So my role today is not to tell you everything about what we do. It is for you to understand the overall role of the office and to understand that while you're here at UWI, we are here to support you, and we want to see you before you need to visit. What do I mean by that? Planning for your tertiary education should not be a last-minute exercise. The fact that you're all here today means that you want the information. But sometimes when we come to orientation and we do these presentations, we feel good because we see many persons, but the students who really need to act based on the information that we would have presented, they don't come to see us until sometimes it's too late or almost too late. So today, I want everyone here to understand that the Office of Student Financing, also called the OSF, is the Undergraduate Financial Aid Office. The Undergraduate Financial Aid Office. So it means that while you're here, anything you need to discuss, anything you need to understand about scholarships and bursaries, even if you have accessed a scholarship from an external donor and you're having a challenge, we want you to come and have that conversation with us, right? And we're in the Assembly Hall now, the Office of Student Financing. If you look to my left, there's a walkway with a glass door upstairs. On the first floor, there's a sign, Office of Student Financing. Sometimes when we see our students and we say, why didn't you visit? They'll say, Miss, I just didn't think based on my GPA, or, you know, I know people who have applied for scholarships and bursaries and they did not receive one, so why would I get it? But every student here is enough. You're here at UWI Mona with everyone else, and all services and the opportunities are for you. Sometimes our parents will participate in everything that we do. They'll come to family and parents orientation, but they don't necessarily always understand all of the information. But guess what? I was where you are today. We are in university, and we are not only reading for our degree on paper, but we're building our life skills. And that means taking responsibility for our future. So not because you may think that, okay, mommy says she has an Omni, mommy says she has an Heritage, I'm going to apply for a student's loan, my aunt in the USA says she's pay, it doesn't mean that you should not also make an attempt to assist yourself with your education. And how can you do that? We can assist you in the Office of Student Financing because the office administers scholarships and bursaries. There are hundreds of scholarships and bursaries available to all our undergraduate students, from first to third year for those programs, and for medical sciences students, right up to fifth year. And we have the testimonials for everything. But what does it take for you to get a scholarship or a bursary? The first thing is that you must apply. It's a transparent process. We cannot help you if we do not have a form in the Office of Student Financing. Now, some of you here will say, I went on the website and the deadline said June 30th. We have to have a deadline because we start processing our scholarships and bursaries each year, normally in August. This year, we have moved it up to July because we know that it is important for persons to know as soon as possible how their education, how their fees are going to be paid. And some persons, despite all trying everything, may not have the student's loan option available to them, may not have family or parent support. And so we have moved up that deadline along with the university. But you're here and you can still benefit. So the deadline was June 30th because we do have commitments, as I said before. However, we are still taking applications from our students. Every year, we have donors who come on to the scholarship process right throughout the year. We don't turn back any donor. And for that reason, we still take the student's application, right? So it means that if you're here today and you have not submitted a scholarship application, there is still an opportunity for you. May I see the hands of all those who have submitted a scholarship application, please? Okay, I see some hands, that's encouraging, but I expect that next week after this presentation, we'll see quite a few more. Now, I mentioned scholarships and bursaries, and persons are thinking, I don't know what's the difference. The difference is really only in the value of the award, right? So scholarships are normally more than 90% of tuition, and the bursary values are less. That's the distinction because we have to set it up in our system. Now, everything right now, it's hard copy, so you visit the Office of Student Financing website, which is displayed on the board, and you read the instructions, complete the form. We also, while we're working on our online system with our MITS team, we find also that we have to work through the applications with many of the students and parents who present to the office, just in terms of explaining more how to do the budget and things like that, right? And we like to see the students, we like to meet you, we like to have that face-to-face interaction as well. So hopefully in the very near future we'll be online, but we'll still be seeing our students for various things in office. Now, once you complete your scholarship and bursary application form, you take it to the Office of Student Financing. We will check it. There are times when students will go on Google, and that is where they will pick up the scholarship names from, versus on the Office of Student Financing's website. So if you're indicating something that we don't process, or is a historical scholarship, we no longer have it, then we will advise you, and you're given the opportunity to update your application. Students are allowed to indicate up to 10 scholarships that they're interested in, and if the ones that you indicate, you are not successful with any of those, and we have other scholarships that you're eligible for, then you're considered for those as well. Which is why I say the important thing is that you must always submit your application form. Even if you're applying for a student's loan, you're allowed to apply for scholarships and bursaries, because at the end of the day, there is no fee to cancel your student's loan if you're given a scholarship. However, it ensures that when the university sends the reminder that the deadline is on hand, you don't have to panic, and it doesn't distract you from studying for your mid-semester or final exams, because you know that your preparations are in place. Now, for returning students, as I mentioned before, persons will say they don't think they have the GPA. More and more, we have been discussing with our donors, and several of our donors offer scholarships and bursaries that do not require 3.0, right? So we have donors who will start from 2.4 up. And we also have donors who will have their fixed grade point average requirements. However, if in the particular year the students who apply, the grades are below their required average, they still accept, and we still interview and process the applications. So the opportunities are there. Another bursary that we administer is the PATH bursary, which is offered through the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. We accept those applications during the months of August and September each year, unless otherwise indicated by the ministry. All students who are in a registered PATH household and benefited from PATH during sixth form and high school, you're automatically eligible once you become a first-year student attending university, not just UWI, any university here, right? So first-year students, if you're a PATH beneficiary, go on the Office of Student Financing website. The form is there. We start collecting applications in August. Actually, there are some students who they were going on work and travel or would have been out of parish, and they wanted to ensure that their applications were ready. So they have already submitted it, and we collected the forms. So please do not lose your opportunity. The ministry does not accept the forms outside of their approved deadlines. So if they give us permission to accept it outside of the deadline, we can do so, but otherwise we can't, right? The criteria, as I mentioned before, once you meet that criteria, we haven't seen a student that they have denied. Only way you're not going to get it is if the household that you're in, when they re-register, they don't add your name to the household, right? For second year to fourth year students, because they give it from first to fourth year, the required GPA is 2.5. So it means that if you're a PATH beneficiary, you completed first year, your semester 1 and 2 GPA combined must be a minimum of 2.5, and then you submit an application in August, and you will benefit for second year. So each year, you have to do a new application. Students who are applying for loans through the Students' Loan Bureau, we also assist you. So you may have applied for a student's loan and it was approved. Subsequently, you received a scholarship or bursary, right? Which means that it could be a full scholarship paying everything, or it's assisting you with part of your fees. So you don't want to have too much loans and you're saying, no, I want to reduce this. That facility exists and it's processed through the Office of Student Financing. So again, you would go on our website. We know our students love the internet, so we try to keep the website extremely current and relevant, right? And you'll print down your form, tick that you want to reduce your loan. You will take it to Student Administrative Services section. Ms. Henry spoke about SAS. You'll take it there, they'll stamp it, you return it to the Office of Student Financing, and we'll send it to the Students' Loan Bureau on your behalf. What does that mean? Simply put, if you want to reduce, the tuition is $325,383 for our base programs, right? So accounting, entrepreneurship, etc. So if you want to reduce your loan by $100,000, you would use that form, have it stamped, take it to our office. We'll send it out to the Students' Loan Bureau. They'll send back a response within a reasonable time to say if your request was approved, and then the bursary would reduce your loan. So when you log on to your student account, you would see that reduction in your student's loan, right? So I encourage you to apply for everything that is available to you. Now, do we have any third-year students? Did anyone indicate that they're third year? Okay, I don't see a hand for third year, but if you do have a relative or someone who is in third year, we have something special for, I shouldn't say third year, I should say final year students, because if you're in nursing, it's at the end of year 4 or medicine, year 5. We have something called the Student Academic Enrichment Fund, right? So you're here in first year, it's something that you can look towards. You're in second year, it's something you can look towards, right? Now, as I said earlier, the university tries to create various types of opportunities for our students to benefit. So you are in final year, you're doing well, you've paid your fees to the university, and there's a conference overseas that you want to attend. And this conference is aligned with your area of study. So it could be that you're doing accounting and it's something about accounting and it's being held in Europe, and your department that you're in, they believe that this is something worthy of one of our students attending. You're able to apply for what we call the Student Academic Enrichment Fund, and the university supports you being able to attend, be it with your airfare, accommodations, it depends. Right? But while you're here in first year, I just want to remember that there is that special opportunity for you to take advantage of when you get to first year. Now, in terms of our scholarships and bursaries, for the persons who said that they have already submitted an application form, you may or may not have already received a response indicating that your form was received. It's hard copy, as you already know, so the database has been put together. All students will receive an acknowledgement by the end of the month. Students are shortlisted. Most of our students are selected by interviews with our donors participating on the panel, right? So when you're shortlisted for interview, we'll send you an email to say that you've been shortlisted. It will indicate the particular scholarship that you have been shortlisted for, the proposed date of the interview, and it will request that you confirm that you can attend the interview. We also, once you confirm, will remind you to research the donors. When you attend an interview, people like to know that you really want this thing that you're here for. So to you, it's not a random scholarship, right? So you're going to an interview for the Stephen Lane Scholarship for Students in Actuarial Sciences, yeah? So when they ask you about the Caribbean Actuarial Association, they want to know that you can give them information. We always send the reminders to students in the email. We also always ask that if you are not sure, if you can't find the information, reach out to the Office of Student Financing. But we have found in many instances that students don't recognize how important it is, and that is why we put the note in the email. So you will find that a student in an interview based on the donor may have done excellent in terms of expressing why they're doing their course of study, may really have that financial need, but then every scholarship is not about need as well. Some scholarships are academic, and you'll recognize that based on the criteria on our website for each scholarship. And you'll get the edge because you actually did some research, you did some preparation, right? So when you're coming for the interviews, don't ignore the tips that we include in the email to you. Ensure that you're properly groomed. Many of our interviews are on Zoom. We had started that even before COVID, and we'll continue to do so because we have donors who are overseas. But even though you're on Zoom, your mannerism, your mode of dress, it's still important, and it is still a part of how you are assessed, right? So I just wanted to take those points. The Office of... Okay, so Mr. Mackenzie has indicated that my time is up. I hope most of what I've said has resonated with you, and I want to ask you, please, we have 3 numbers, 876-702-4646, 876 441-4120, 876-441-3584. And my email address for anyone here who wants to shoot an email, it's Shana, SHANA .Hastings, HASTINGS @uwimona.edu.jm. Thank you.
Thank you so kindly, Mrs. Edwards. We're rolling on. And so we have some partners with us. I'm going to invite them just to come on stage as I invite back Mrs. Henry to be on platform with us, because we're going to be having the question and answer segment as we hear from key partners, Scotiabank. We're going to have at this point in time for her 3 minutes, the branch manager of the UWI branch, Mrs. Lavone Smart McFarlane. Please come along, Madame. Your 3 minutes begins. I want to say no, but you're not here yet, you know? So we'll give you the 3 minutes, after which, from the Student Loan Bureau, we'll have Mr. Siobhan Harvey. He's the customer service representative there. And then from Student Work and Travel, we'll have Chavoy Hutchinson, and he's the head of the Spirit Department. Don't ask me which Spirit, all right? So we'll hear briefly from these, our partners. As you know, we'll look at options for financing your higher education in this space. 3 minutes maximum each. And then we'll entertain your questions and answers around financial matters, whether it be a bursarial matter, a matter for OSF, or a matter for one of our partners here with us this afternoon. The smart one.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, everyone. That's much better. So it's indeed a pleasure for me to be here with you this afternoon to tell you how Scotiabank is here to assist you financially. As mentioned, my name is Lavony Smart McFarlane, and I'm the branch manager here at Scotiabank UE. So as you know, financial planning, it is very important because for you, the students, it allows you to develop the skill for budgeting, saving, as well as investing. And for you, the parents and family members, it will help you to guide them on this journey. So at Scotiabank, we provide you with the advice as well as the solutions for this financial need. So if it is for you, students, if you want to purchase your meals here on campus, or you want to pay your tuition fees, or purchase books, or take part in extracurricular activities, we are here to assist you. And the first thing that we would recommend to you is opening an account. Let me see the hands of all those who have a Scotia account. Perfect. So you are one step ahead. But if you don't have an account with us here at Scotiabank, you can start this process online at jm.scotiabank.com, and then you will be guided to our branch in order to finish this process. Once you have this account, you will get a debit card, so you're able to access the ATM, which is 24 hours, 7 days a week, as well as point of sale merchants. Now, one thing that is easy and convenient is our online platform. So whether it's Scotia Online or our mobile app, you have the access to transfer funds online. So parents, family members, you don't have to go in the branch, line up in the queue in order to transfer funds to your family members here on campus. You can do that in the comfort of your home, and they will get the funds immediately. Also, you can pay your bills online. And another great thing with the online platform, if you are already a Scotiabank customer, you can open an account online. You don't have to come to the branch. You can do that in the comfort of your home. and then you would just call through to our contact center, and then they'll be able to attach that account to your debit card. Doesn't it sound good and easy? Yes? Okay, great. So having the account will allow you access to other opportunities. So here on campus, we are not just here for our students. We are here for you, the parents, the family members. If you are a doctor, a lawyer, nurse, a security guard, we are here to assist you. So if it is that you need, say, a personal loan to assist you with your educational fees, medical expenses, or you want to take a trip, Scotiabank UE is here to assist you. That room that is now vacant because your loved one is here on campus, and you have been eyeing that room for quite some time because you want to change it into your office or an art room, Scotiabank UE is here to assist you with a home improvement loan. You realize that you have a mortgage elsewhere, but you realize that the monthly payment, it just keeps on climbing every month. And now you have this extra expense because you have your loved one here. We can switch that mortgage for you at a competitive rate with 0% financing. So Scotiabank UE is here to assist you with that. Yes, I was told my time is up. So here we are on campus to assist you with all your financial needs, not just the students, but everyone here on campus and off campus. So please, we are here. We're open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. So please allow us to assist you here at Scotiabank and to discover what is possible for your financial future. Congratulations to all of you out there and all the best on your new journey. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm not hearing everybody. Awesome. So I'm Chevron Harvey. I'm from the Students Loan Bureau, where I am a customer service representative, and I'm just here to just present some of our products and services to you that you can really benefit from. It is said that the best way to get started is to really start, right? And what we offer here at Students Loan Bureau is tuition funding for persons who are seeking financial assistance, who are pursuing their undergraduate studies. Okay? We do not want anyone to be left behind. We do not want anyone to miss school because of financial reasons. And so we have 3 loan products for you. We have the targeted loan, we have the pay-as-you-study loan facility, and we have the postgraduate. Now, the postgraduate is for persons who are pursuing their master's degree, and I would assume that most of the persons here are doing their first degree. Is that so? Let me see your hands. First degree undergraduate studies. Just wave them in the air like this. Awesome. So we have 2 loan products for you. We have the pay-as-you-study, which is for persons who are interested in repaying your loan while you're attending school. Okay, the life of that loan is 7 years. The interest rate is 6%. You only need 1 guarantor. Everybody say 1 guarantor. The interest rate is 6%. We have the most competitive interest rate island-wide. It's the lowest for pay-as-you-study loan facility. Your parent can apply on your behalf. We also have the targeted loan facility, which you only need what? 1 guarantor. Everybody say 1 guarantor. Awesome. Also, you can benefit from a lot of our benefits as well that we offer here at the Students Loan Bureau, which is grants. We offer up to $50,000 for regular students. For persons who are on path, you can benefit from up to $60,000. For persons who are also on path, you do not need a guarantor. Isn't that great news? Awesome. So no more hassle, no more struggling finding someone to stand as a guarantor for you. You do not need any guarantor once you're a part beneficiary. Awesome. I think that's good news. Can I get a round of applause for that? Awesome. Also, the life of that loan is 15 years. So persons who are doing medicine, you have up to 20 years to repay, which means that if you have 15 years, your time in school is 3 years or 4 years, you minus that, and that's what you have left to repay. So you repay after you've completed school. We offer a moratorium phase, which most institutions do not offer, okay? But we offer a moratorium phase, which means that you repay after you've completed school. Okay, so your mommy can save some money, your daddy can save some money, and so on, and you can repay after you've completed school. Also, you can repay while you're attending school as well. Okay, so that's the good news about SLB and our flexibility. You can repay while you're in school. You do not need to repay, so you can repay, but you do have the choice to repay while you're in school. Okay? Also, the interest rate is 7.8 while in school. When you're in repayment, it's 9.5%. We have a good standing promotion going on, which means that if you maintain a good GPA of 2.5 and over while you're in school, you get a 2% reduction in the interest rate. Isn't that good news? Awesome. Awesome. I'm going to give you one more good news. Also, if you are in repayment and you maintain a good standing, which means that you're maintaining your loan without getting into arrears, then you also benefit from a 2% reduction in interest rate, which means that your interest rate from 9.5 will fall to 7.5. Isn't that good news? I'm not hearing the yes loud enough. I'm also going to give you one more good news. All right. Also, if you are part of a charitable organization for at least a year, you can also benefit from that 2% reduction as well. Isn't that good news? Awesome. Awesome. No one getting everybody. Now, guys, the application should be done online. And our website is www.slbja.com. www.slbja.com. It's quite easy, it's quite simple, not a hassle. All you need to do is to visit our website, select apply/online, and visit our customer portal, start the application. You need to register, after which you complete the application, upload the relevant documents. The guarantor will be able to do the same or should do the same. Afterwards, you pay the fees as well via our customer portal, submit your application, an assessment will be done, and guess what? 99% of the persons who submit an application benefit. They do receive their disbursement. They do receive their loan, so you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry one bit. We want to help to finance your dreams. We want to help finance your tuition. We want to help transform your family. We want to help transform your community. We, SLB, will believe in you. Okay, and that's why we're here, just to help you grow. Anybody else want to grow? Let me see the hands of those who want to grow. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, we want to help finance your dreams, and that's why we're here. The Students' Loan Bureau, financing higher education. Okay? Have a good one.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. So again, my name is Chevoy Hutchinson. I'm here from SWAT Productions Limited. So SWAT Productions Limited is a J1 cultural exchange program. SWAT Production Limited is a J1 cultural exchange program which has been, agency which has been in operation for the past 17 years. And we are located right here on campus at the Students' Union. The J1 cultural exchange program is, as the name states, it's a cultural exchange program that allows full-time university students to travel to the US during the summer. That is from May to September, where you get to engage in a number of cultural activities. You get to network, make new friends, internationalize your resume. But more importantly, while you're there, you are allowed to work so you can offset your expenses. Now, registration is already open for the 2024 season, and we have a number of early bird promotions going on. So you can head to our website at swatltd.com for more information on our program and for registration. I must point out our office is currently closed. We reopen on August 8th, but we are still working remotely, so if you have any queries, you can still contact us at the numbers listed on our website, or you can email us at swatinfoja@gmail.com. All right, thank you.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, so we're winding down quite nicely, right? Here we're going to take your questions if you have questions, any financial questions for our burst representative, Ms. Henry, or a representative from Office of Student Finance, Mrs. Edwards, or Scotia representative or representative from SWAT, or the Student Loan Bureau. Any such question? Okay. Excellent. The information has been so clear that you have no further questions. All right, working in good time. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a number of you, your child or ward has applied to live in hall, has received acceptance in hall, or maybe seeking to live off campus as a commuting student. We want you in this moment to connect with the person who has direct responsibility for the each hall of residence, right? We're going to introduce you to the team of student services and development managers. Listen keenly to what I'm saying now. Each manager will ask you to sit in the front row. We'll introduce the manager, and at the end of the introduction, I will tell you exactly where you will go to meet the manager to get more information about that particular hall of residence. In some instances, you will stay right here in the space or nearby to have a conversation with the manager. In other instances, you'll be taken to the hall of residence where you'll meet in a serene and salubrious kind of atmosphere to engage the manager about the offerings in the space and any question that you may have around the hall of residence, right? So you may look to screen. We have the persons here. Let me do them in the order that I have them here on program. So I'm going to ask you to just put your hands together. A big round of applause for the members of the party here who have served us well. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may take your seats elsewhere now because they don't have any questions for you, all right? Thank you so kindly. But certainly you can continue to interface with them at the booths at the back to benefit from all that is on offer there. So the team of student services and development managers now. And as you'd have heard earlier, I serve as head of the Office of Student Services and Development. And for those who may have arrived late, my name is Jason Mackenzie. Now we run to Dr. Anne-Marie Williams, she's from the Office of Placement and Career Services. You met Dr. Williams earlier today. Now, Dr. Jones is not present. He's actually on leave and off. But we have Mr. Donald Mambi from Assan Preston Hall. Could you stand and be acknowledged, Mr. Mambi? And I'll tell you where the person ice will go shortly. Then we have Mr. Bertram Anderson. Mr. Anderson is from Elsa Leorini Hall, the masked man. I don't know if he's the marked man as well. Mrs. Savannah Bennett Mott from the Leslie Robinson Hall. The Seacole from the representative from Mary Seacole Hall. Not seen Dr. Spence. Who is representing Mary Seacole Hall? We run to Mr. Athol Hamilton, True Blue, the man from Taylor Hall. Sitting next to him is Miss Shireen Richards. Miss Richards is the Student Services and Development Manager for George Alain Hall. Then we have Ms. Diane Bailey. Ms. Diane Bailey is the Student Services and Development Manager for Rex Netherford Hall. I know I saw him at the back earlier, Mr. Roger Bent. Mr. Bent is the SSDM for Chancellor Hall. The lady from the West, Miss Tanya Francis, is the Student Service and Development Manager for Western Jamaica campus, and the students who will be living or studying at WJC, as we say for short, you'll have, as I indicated earlier, orientation activities specific to you and for you at the Mona Western Jamaica campus. Ms. Simone Williams, the Student Services and Development Manager for Irving Hall. Now seen Ms. Williams. And Ms. Kerisha Larmon, who has responsibility for our commuting students. And Mr. Martin Nelson, he has responsibility for our graduate student facility. That's the Marlene Hamilton Hall. So let me tell you how we will proceed now, parents. I must thank you, parents, spouses, family members, for your time with us today. You have been a wonderful, wonderful audience. I really hope that the information that we have shared, you would have found it to be beneficial to you. Now, I'm going to ask our parents and family members now to move in this regard as we say thank you for today. We appreciate you. We look forward to seeing the students at orientation on August 24 and 25 for all our new undergraduate students. In the interim, may I remind you to check in at www.ceai.chat for information on all our orientation activities and to engage with our artificially intelligence-driven platform. So now for your movements. At St. Preston Hall, you will meet on the foyer. Stand, Mr. Mambi. Could you stand? They'll meet you on the foyer, and you'll be bused to Aston Preston Hall, right? You'll be taken to Aston Preston Hall. The Chancellor writes, Mr. Bent and his team will take you to Chancellor Hall. You'll meet there in the dining room. You'll get information there, and you'll have a little tour of the hall. Mr. Bent, come so that he can see you. So this is Roger Bent. I'm going to ask you, Roger, just to stand to my far right, the left. The Chancellor Rice will meet him there, and you'll go to Chancellor Hall. Committing students, Ms. Larman, you'll go ahead with Ms. Norman. Mr. Bertram Anderson will take persons to the hall, he and his team. Right, so SLA Rani, come next. Come here, right here, right here. Right, that's the ELR team. Georgia Lane, Ms. Richards will meet under the undercroft. That's that open area right at the back of this building. That's it. You'll go. All those who have applied for Georgia Lane Hall, go with Ms. Richards to that area. Irving Hall, Ms. Williams will meet you on the outside and you'll be taken to Irving Hall. Leslie Robinson Hall. Could you please stand, Mrs. Mott? Right here, all those who have applied to Leslie Robinson Hall, you'll meet with her, and she'll take you to that hall. Rex Netherford Hall, you'll go with Miss Bailey, meet her on the undercroft. So Miss Bailey's moving, go with her. All those who have applied to Rex Netherford or have an interest in going to Rex Netherford Hall, move along with, to the undercroft, you'll meet Miss Bailey there. Taylor Hall, Ms. Hamilton, could you stand, please? He'll meet you at the back of the foyer to my left. Go along with Mr. Hamilton to the back of the foyer, and he'll take you to Taylor Hall, where you will go meet with him and learn more about the offerings there. Remember, for the Western Jamaica campus, there's an orientation specific to your needs there. And Mary Seacole Hall is their rep here. On the outside, on the foyer, you'll meet the Seacole representative right there. And anybody for Marlene Hamilton Hall, graduate students, then you'll meet on the foyer, Mark Nelson. Thank you so very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being here. It was a good day, and we wish for you the absolute best. Oh, Preston Hall, you're now remaining in the assembly hall. Meet Mr. Mambi here. He'll take you to the back of the room, okay? Irving Hall in the foyer outside. Right, our representative will meet you there. Simone Williams, our representative, will meet you on the outside, all right?